What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, Episode 9, your weekly podcast all about Xbox. This week's going to be a little different. We just finished watching the Game Awards, so we're going to break down that. We're going to save all the news about, Halo Infinite for next weekend, Cyberpunk for next weekend. This is going to be strictly our reaction to the Game Awards, what we saw there, what Microsoft announced, and just general information about the show. So first off, I want to ask Aman and Tom, my two guests. As you guys can see, we got some video going on now. What do you guys think of the show overall? Was it good? Live up to your expectations?
I was hoping for a little bit more Xbox, but it was good overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It kind of matched my expectations. Well, we got a bunch of exclusive games, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know off the start I was hyped because they started off with Super Smash Brothers. I know this is an Xbox podcast, but let me fanboy a little bit over Sephiroth getting into Super Smash Brothers because that trailer was hype as fuck. Like, the cinematics, the music, everything about that was perfect. But we want to go strictly into what Microsoft was announcing. Our first real announcement was the cinematic trailer that we got for the new Perfect Dark game from the Initiative. Yep. Everyone rumored that this was the game they were working on. We were all like, is it Perfect Dark? Are they really going to follow up Perfect Dark from the 360 that wasn't really well received with a new one? And they are. And personally, I thought the cinematic trailer was great. I thought it looked sweet. The ending where they just, mentioned her name to let you know what it was. I thought it was a great trailer, and I'm excited to see more. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm extremely hyped for it. It also it's kind of like a soft reboot to the Perfect Dark franchise with we got Mav in here.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a soft reboot to the Perfect Dark franchise. In a way, and it shows us that it's not the alien Perfect Dark that we got back in the 360 days. It's different. The setting is different. We could see pyramids in the background. It had a more ancient aesthetic, and the leaked artwork which we got a few months ago, we can see that it was correct, and that's how it looked like with pyramids and stuff.
Yeah. Now, before I ask Tom what he thinks, I do want to tell all our viewers that we've been joined by Mav from Fun Speculation. I know him and Aman were doing the YouTube stream over on his channel, so everyone go check that out. You can see their live reactions to everything that was going on. But welcome, Mav. How you doing?
Pretty good. How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. Sorry, I know I'm jumping in here in the middle of your stream. I've been tied up, obviously, for the last few hours, so I had to make sure my daughter was still alive, and everything's good now. So yeah, amazing show. I'm excited to be here and talk about it.
Yeah, I was saying we're gonna save all the Xbox news earlier in the week about Halo for next week, but we're gonna break down the Game Awards right now. I fanboyed out about Sephiroth, and we're just breaking down Perfect Dark. What do you think about the new Perfect Dark from the Initiative?
I thought they hit the nail on the head with it, man. It's got that vibe of that serious game that people are looking for. Obviously, we don't have any a gameplay or anything yet, but this was the first reveal. For a first reveal of a game, they kind of did a really good job of giving a sense of the art style and the vibe, right? Which is a really good job there. And then it ends with hey, this is maybe the world you're going to be exploring, or what you're going to be kind of getting into with the shot of the pyramids and the desert and stuff. So yeah, it seemed mature. It seemed Amon had said after that they had confirmed, I guess it was going to be third person, right? Which is another cool thing. The argument that some people would have, hey, new IP versus Perfect Dark, there's a lot of that, but it's been so long since there's been a Perfect Dark game. The last one, to a lot of people, was a letdown as well. This is going to be a completely new take on the franchise and the IP, and they have shown that with this trailer. Completely different type of studio making this game than made it in the past. I think they nailed it. I am super excited for this game. I want to play it now, but we'll see. Maybe we have to wait for it for a year or two.
I imagine 2022. Tom, first thoughts, impressions?
Yeah, I was excited just looking at the game before they even showed the ending, and then that one just made me freak. I was like, just fanboying out a little bit there. But you guys said everything I wanted to say about it. It looks good. I'm excited. The initiative has a great group of developers over there, so I'm sure they'll like make this game way better than the original.
I have no doubt, based on the talent on that team, that this is going to be better than the 360 game that we got, which was, as we said, disappointing for Perfect Dark fans. I thought it looked great. I thought the setting looked great. You know, it looked definitely more mature than the one we got before. So I'm pumped about that. I don't expect to see any gameplay or anything really for the game for at least another year. I can imagine it comes out in 2022. If we're moving into the announcements, not strictly Xbox, it is coming to Xbox, I believe, was Back for Blood. Can anyone confirm that? I thought I saw it on the Series X, the Xbox logo at the end.
I'm pretty sure it was on all platforms.
I thought so too. And obviously, this is from the people that made Left 4 Dead. They went and made their own studio, and they're not being subtle here. This is clearly Left 4 Dead. They just are remaking the game and renaming it something else. And I think the little 4 is kind of like a jab, because Left 4 Dead never, we stopped and they're not making any more of that. So
yeah,
I'm down for more Left 4 Dead. It looked exactly like Left 4 Dead. I'll play it.
Yeah, they're kind of playing with what they can get away with with this one, right? But it's awesome, man. Like it's a franchise. I mean, okay, so let's say Perfect Dark wasn't a new IP, but it still had the same vibe and just a different name. That's kind of like what we got here with Left 4 Dead, right? Like this is the same game pretty much, just with a new name. So new IP, old IP. To me, it doesn't matter. What matters most is if it's a good game, right? Are you going to have a good game? Are you going to have a good experience? They showed a lot of gameplay. This was the gameplay highlight of the show from AAA style games. So they had that, and it looked great. It's coming to all platforms. The last game that I remember these guys making was the Evolved. I think that was published by 2K. Now, that was a good game, even though a lot of people didn't play it. It didn't grab people. It had that 4-player asymmetrical. Your one side is like, all working together. And then there's somebody else that's like a monster, right? Graphically, amazing, right? Gameplay wise, it was really good. Art style wise, it looked really good. It just didn't click with people and didn't take off like everybody had hoped. And that game had a lot of hype leading up to it, but just for some reason didn't work, right?
I played the beta with my friends, but it did not grab me. Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's like, okay, you nail everything, but the feel. You're like just having being a title that you have to feel like you play. And that's not just that game. A lot of those 4v1 games were kind of being talked about at the time, including Fable Legends that was canceled, right? That was kind of a trend, and it died very quickly. And I think part of the reason it died is because Evolve failed, right? So, but I think that game showed that this studio is very talented. So it'd be awesome to see what they do with this, and I think it's going to have some legs, man. Aim down sights. It has aim down sights also, which Left 4 Dead did not have.
It's a great formula. So I mean, they really have a lot to work with there, and they have the backlog of already making those Left 4 Dead games before. So I really have high hopes for this one, and I love those kind of zombie games. And just to throw in, I'm also excited for that new Warhammer game, which is also like that Left 4 Dead style kind of gameplay. So. Should be fun.
So I have to ask something. So Amon had said you watch the Game Awards with your family every year, Kevin?
Yeah, I watch with my brother every year. We just got done watching. We had to, order some pizza, watch the Game Awards.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
And what did y'all think of the show as a whole? Right, like just in general.
In general, I thought. This is how it goes most years for me. It starts really hype and then gets I kind of fade throughout the middle, and then they kind of try to bring it back, and that's hit or miss for me if they bring it back. The Mass Effect ending, it was better than last year. Certainly anything's going to beat Fast and Furious Crossroads, even though I love Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that was weird.
Don't care about the game. Vin Diesel's
Did
cool.
that game even come out?
It did. It's terrible. But yeah, Mass Effect was certainly a better ending. I thought that the award show was fine. It was good. I have no complaints with it overall. I thought it was an enjoyable time, just hanging out, watching some game announcements and some hype moments. Speaking of games that similar, type of style from people that made games in the past, the Callisto Protocol. This is from creator of Dead Space, and this is another game that I think looks basically like what they've made in the past. I don't know if
looks a lot like Dead Space.
Yeah.
A lot like Dead Space, yeah. I mean, we didn't get much besides from a short cinematic trailer. But yeah, it just gave me Dead Space vibes, and Dead Space on Game Pass now, so you can go check it out.
Yeah.
Was that announced for all platforms or what?
Yes, Callisto Protocol is coming to Series X, PS5, and PC. So I don't think it's coming to
next gen only game, right?
Next gen only. It appears.
So probably we can see it 2022-ish.
Yeah, it said it will launch in 2022.
Yeah.
Until it's delayed and it's 2023. Which is par for the course right now.
The next Microsoft focused thing we got was the Forza Cyberpunk crossover. Forza Horizon 4 is getting a Cyberpunk car. Cool. Not much there. I mean, if you guys like Forza, that's cool. I think the next big thing we really got was a look at Dragon Age 4, and it was kind of what I expected. A cinematic trailer. I think
I was kind of disappointed actually, because I expected a little bit more, something a little longer, or in-engine footage like what we got with Hellblade 2. So I expected something along the lines of that. But yeah, I mean, the game's probably years out, probably 2022, 2023-ish. So yeah, I think that's what we can expect.
Tom, what was your thoughts on Dragon Age? I know it's a game we're all looking forward to.
I'm excited for it, but just like Aman, I was hoping for more, even with just a cinematic trailer. If like the devs came on afterwards and just a bigger, broad explanation of what they want to like make this game to be, because right now I don't really have high hopes for BioWare. Let's be honest here, but I wanted what their vision is for this new Dragon Age game. I'm excited. They're bringing back old characters. The Dragon Age formula always worked for me. I just really hope that BioWare, keeps their chin up on this one.
Step the game up.
Yeah.
Mav, you Dragon Age?
I mean,
so going if you want to talk about BioWare, like I've played, I think not every BioWare game, almost every BioWare game. Like my favorite, one of my favorite games of all time was Neverwinter Nights, which was a PC game. It was a follow up to Baldur's Gate, and is it in the D&D thing? But it was it doesn't. You can't go back to it and have a great experience now because it was like one of the first 3D CRPGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they made that, and then Jade Empire and Knights of the Old Republic. And
KOTOR. Yeah.
Jade Empire is underrated. That's a good game.
Yeah, Mass Effect.
Extremely underrated.
That game is it's very overrated, but it's because a lot of people don't talk about it. But back then, it was I think it was a game of the year, not a candidate, right? Like it was like in 9s and stuff like it. They just were a symbol of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been argued for a long time as the best game studio. It was like them and Bungie, right? Who was better, BioWare or Bungie, right? And now, we've seen, the Mass Effect Andromeda kind of just okay. And then the whole Anthem thing. And now, Casey Jones and Mark Dara Mark Dara was the executive producer of Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Casey Jones was general manager of BioWare. So they just both retired at the same time.
And he was also the lead for Mass Effect games, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
Casey Hudson. Yeah.
Yeah, Hudson. Sorry. Yeah, it's I want to be into this because I love Dragon Age, and Dragon Age was a spiritual successor when they created that to Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights, but they didn't have the D&D license, so they went and they made their own thing. They made their own lore, their own world, so they could make those fantasy style RPGs, and they created something special. Dragon Age Inquisition could be their last great game. I hope not. we go into looking at Dragon Age, what it's going to be now. I had a lot of hopes for this because that's the thing that we knew was going to be at the Game Awards. With all the speculation of, hey, what is Xbox going to show this? Is PlayStation going to show this? Is Nintendo, whatever. EA had said, hey, Dragon Age is going to be like it's kind of like setting a level of expectation. And it was there, but it was outshone by a lot of other things to where it was just there. That wasn't big enough for me from them, especially with what they showed before. With the first time they talked about Dragon Age was just like it was like us talking. You know, it was like just, hey, here's the developers, cameras, talk about Dragon Age a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
was that last year at the Game Awards?
I think that was the year before, maybe. I don't even know.
Just forever ago, they had like a dev diary. They showed some drawings and some sketches of what they, you know.
Yeah.
Well, then then they had a second thing, and then the second thing they showed a little bit of the art style of it.
Yeah.
Right.
That was recently, I think, right? And then EA Access event or something.
The EA Play event. I think they went they were filming people outside. I remember they were filming people outside.
Well,
if this is the big reveal, right? Like, I mean, come on, like we didn't really take anything away from that. I didn't, you know, like I wanted more than that. I wanted more information, somebody to come out and talk about the game, what they're building, what they're working on. You know, I wanted a longer trailer that shows a little bit more information and detail. You know, hey, how about a release window, a release date? You know, like then we didn't even get that, and that's not the only problem I have with BioWare, which I'm sure we'll get to this later. But I'll let you guys take over on this one because I'm already getting frustrated just talking.
No, it's fine.
I mean, this event was basically EA saying BioWare is here to stay, because after Casey Hudson and Mark Darrah leaving, many people suspected that the studio was going to shut down, but I don't think that's the case, since they announced two massive games, which they've got, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, this event. And I think BioWare is here to stay, and I kind of think Mark Darrah and Casey Hudson were part of the problem at BioWare. That's why they needed to shake things up, similar to what happened with Halo Infinite when Chris Lee left. Joseph Staten took over, and maybe they're slowly progressing toward just nothing.
It's certainly possible. I was disappointed in the trailer. I was disappointed, and I didn't even expect that much. I think I said when they announced it in our chat in Discord that I was like, I don't.
You said concept art.
Yeah, concept art and CG trailer most. I got what I expected, and I'm still somewhat disappointed just because like the trailer wasn't anything. I don't think it really.
Yeah, it was very generic.
Yeah,
it was like an opening sequence to like a small game to me. You know what I mean? It's like
I feel like you could have put that CG trailer in for any fantasy Western RPG, and it would have been fine. You wouldn't have known it was Dragon Age.
The only thing that gave it away that's Dragon Age was at the end, the character from Dragon Age Inquisition, right? I don't know, man. That was kind of that was my only. I love the show. I thought the show was amazing, but being a Dragon Age fan, being an RPG fan like that, I like that. That was a letdown for me. I just wanted more information, you know. So we'll see. I know that they have plans for it, but that wasn't promising.
Moving on to our next reveal, and this one was a long one. They spent a long time in this trailer, and it was one that I thought looked great. And I want to get I'm gonna ask Tom his opinion on it first. Is Crimson Desert, first gameplay trailer revealed, upcoming open world action adventure game launching in 2021 for PC and consoles. It kind of had an Assassin's Creed type vibe, but with some dragons, and it looks sweet to me. I want to know what you guys' thoughts on it were.
So, Crimson Desert, it's actually like a spiritual successor to Black Desert Online, which is Pearl Abyss's MMORPG. Okay. That one is more PvP focused. This one is supposed to be another MMO game, but it's supposed to be more player versus, like, you know, more cooperative, keeping people together instead of the PvP. Just looking at it, the combat looks really good. If you've ever played Black Desert Online, you'll know like to expect good combat. That game was like easily the best action combat I've ever played in an MMO. Period. However, I don't really have too much high hopes on this one. Crimson Desert or Black Desert Online. It's one of the most pay to win games you can possibly play.
Okay.
Shot.
So if they can, scale back on that, it can definitely be a good game. But I honestly don't have high hopes on that front. At least early on, before they shoehorn all that microtransaction in there, you'll have some fun in the beginning at least. So,
Okay.
There's that.
All right. Well, I'm hoping because you're saying it's not as PvP focused that maybe it'll be less pay to win and more, cosmetic microtransactions or something like that. 'Cause that game looks fun, and if I could play that co-op, I would certainly dive in there for a little bit at least, check it out.
Yeah, I mean, visually the great game looked amazing. The combat reminded me a lot of Assassin's Creed. It's sort of like, as Tom said, a spiritual successor to Black Desert. I didn't play much of Black Desert, only put about an hour to it. Didn't like it that much. Combat was good, but not my type of game. So yeah, I don't have high hopes for this, but the game looked good. Visually, the game looks stunning, if you ask me.
Prettiest game that was there, aesthetically. But
Agreed.
they wanted to show that, and so they spent a lot of time showing that without really saying anything more. It was kind of just like pretty shot after pretty shot after pretty shot, and they just kept going for a couple minutes. It seemed like, you know what I mean. So ultimately, it looked gorgeous. MMOs are kind of not my thing usually. Depends on how the system works. Like, I don't know, the Black Desert Online, was it free to play, or was it subscription based, or
You buy it once and then it's free after that.
okay, so it's more like a traditional, model of, hey, buy the game and then just play it, right? So kind of like Elder Scrolls Online, I guess. Would be kind of maybe a fair example, right? So I would be more than willing to try something like that. My experience with those is too much. At times, here's a game that you buy built around buying things.
Mm-hmm.
So I try and stay away from that sometimes, but I'm going to give it a shot because of how amazing it looks, and we'll see. I hope it has a story, right? Like, I want there to be a story there to grab me.
Yeah, I think this game would have functioned better as an RPG.
Agreed.
If they made a freaking just single player RPG that looked like that, and they revealed it, that would have been like, okay, that would be number one hype game for me, hands down.
Exactly.
But just knowing
Definitely.
It's that, like, MMO. Kind of maybe games of service potentially kind of thing, kind of takes it a little bit away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looked beautiful. Luckily, I got a little bored. I was watching the Marvel Disney investor briefing.
Oh yeah, investors meeting. I was watching that as well.
All the new
pretty
movies.
good stuff announced there as well.
Yeah,
pretty
great
good stuff announced there as well.
I have to catch up on that, man.
Oh, they announced some great stuff. Go check that out when you guys got a chance. Next game, which is actually Aaron Greenberg talked about on Twitter. It's a Series X and S exclusive to Xbox. I don't know if it's a time exclusive or if it's a permanent exclusive. I know Tom's excited for it. It's Arc 2, and
Arc 2.
Vin Diesel,
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it's making its rounds at the Game Awards again. I wonder if this is going to be a yearly thing. But I personally, my personal opinion, I was pumped for Vin Diesel. I was confused about what I was watching, and I thought the animations looked really stiff. Oh my word!
They did. They were real stiff.
Some of the stuff Vin Diesel was doing, I was like, "Ooh, he does not look good doing this."
Yeah, I thought it was Horizon Zero Dawn at first, and then as we progressed, I saw Vin Diesel, like, holy shit, the hell is this?
Vin Diesel and Horizon.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
I was really pumped and excited till I learned it was Arc 2. That's exactly my thoughts.
I was like, Turok, is Vin Diesel going to be Turok?
Yeah,
You know,
we were going crazy.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
like, what is this game? Yeah, we threw
Fast and
Turok out
Furious.
there.
why are you excited for this, Tom?
I mean, I was excited just watching Vin Diesel doing all like dinosaur stuff. I didn't even know it was Ark until he went to the cave, obviously, and then after that, it was just like even better for me. Ark is one of the best survival games you can play currently. There's a lot of griefers on there online, but it's pretty fun whenever you want to do like a PvE centric game, survival game. You just want to chill, relax, breed some dinosaurs, breed some more dinosaurs, breed more dinosaurs, and that's about it. That's all you do in Ark.
So, question: are they going to release this game in preview? I wonder again, and take like years to make it in a good state. Because the last one was pretty rough for a long time.
Yeah, and
But-
they have another game that's still in preview, Atlas. So
Yeah.
it's curious that they even announced this game when they haven't finished their other game. So I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, it's tough for me to get
It's probably
excited
quite
about
far
that kind
out.
of stuff.
Probably 2023-ish. Did they give us a date at the end of the thing, or I don't think they gave us one, right?
Let me look. I have it all pulled up here. There's no date listed in IGN's article.
All right, yeah. So probably around 2023.
I think the next topic, which is one that has been leaked for a while, and it's one that I tweeted out on our Project XTalk account. Master Chief is in Fortnite. The one thing,
yeah.
I didn't think the trailer announcing him was anything special. He had that little creepy, gross-looking worm thing open the freezer, and Master Chief was in there frozen with the Mountain Dew cans. It was fine. I thought the better thing was the red versus blue Blood Gulch coming to Fortnite. Like that actually was sweet. Capture the flag mode, like that got me hyped up. I don't play Fortnite. I'm probably not going to play Fortnite, but if there's something that's going to get me to play Fortnite, it's capture the flag on Blood Gulch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Master Chief being there, we knew he was coming. It got leaked like a few days ago, and yeah, we knew it was coming, but I didn't think we were going to get it at Game Awards. I thought that Fortnite were just going to, release the update like how they did with Kratos. Luckily, we're also getting a game mode. I don't play a lot of Fortnite, but it's a cool thing to have, cool alternative. They also announced, I think, 2 characters from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Daryl and Michonne. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, thinking of my daughter playing Capture the Flag on Blood Gulch with Halos, it just kind of makes me happy. You know what I mean? So I'm down with that. The whole freezer thing. Now thinking about it, it's kind of a nod to like him always coming out of like his little sleep stasis, right?
Yeah.
Off the ship. Right, so that's probably maybe why they went with that. I thought that was kind of weird when I saw it, but now thinking about it right now, I'm like, oh, I guess that's what they were probably going with there. But yeah, man, it's cool. I like crossovers like this. I think more of it needs to happen in games, especially where we have Kratos on Xbox right now, and we're gonna have Master Chief on PlayStation. So it's gonna give different people a chance to just kind of play around with these characters, and you don't have to. It's not if something's fun. It's just meant for fun, right? It's video games. At the end of the day, we don't need to protect Master Chief from those evil Sony fanboys. You know what I mean? They can play with them too. Like we get to play with Kratos, and we can. Hey, you can teabag Kratos with Master Chief, right? So
yeah, I noticed Nintendo didn't throw a character.
Master Chief with the Leviathan axe.
Yeah, Nintendo was a little quiet today, weren't they?
Yeah, so was PlayStation. I think they didn't announce anything.
Nintendo announced a lot. We're getting a new Ghost and Goblins game. Come on.
That game. Yeah, I remember playing that when it came out.
Hard as hell.
It is. That is one of the hard. But back then, you didn't really think of it like that.
No.
That's how all games were. They were just hard because that's how they added replay value. If you could just beat it easy, then you'd be over quickly and you'd just be done with it. So them being difficult was how they got you into that. It was like the Souls-like games, right? Like they had that challenging thing and reward, challenge and reward.
Not for
me.
me.
Going back to it now, it's freaking hard, man.
Oh, so Master Chiefs and Halo, cool stuff. The next thing is Scarlet Nexus. This is an Xbox exclusive,
Yeah.
which I didn't know. I knew it was announced in June.
Yeah. If you go on Amazon, it shows that you can pre-order for PlayStation 5 as well. So I was a little confused
I'm
about
looking
that.
at the end of the trailer right here. It says Scarlet Nexus Summer 2021, and down at the bottom it only lists Xbox.
Yeah, I think that's a marketing thing. I don't, because if it doesn't actually say
maybe a
the
timed
words
exclusive.
exclusive,
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a timed
then
exclusive.
it's probably just Xbox has the marketing rights, and
I wonder if that's going to earn us any special bonuses. Special privileges. Get the game early or DLC early or something.
yeah, I know
if
Xbox has
probably
been pushing this
Pass.
game
That
hard,
game
man.
should come to Game Pass. Game Pass.
I think it's they're trying to identify with the Japanese audience. They're trying to have people identify this game as Xbox, and I bet down the line it'll be on Game Pass. If not, I don't know if they've announced it's going to be at launch, but at least down the line it'll probably be on Game Pass.
They haven't announced.
Yeah,
launch.
it's not an Xbox exclusive. It's on all platforms. Xbox has the marketing rights.
All right. Well, marketing. The marketing team got me, so maybe they got some people. This is certainly one of my most.
I mean, I'm hyped for that game. That game looks amazing. I like these Japanese JRPGs, anime like games. Persona being one of my favorites of all time. So I'm pretty excited for this.
It looks fantastic. I'm pumped for it. My brother's pumped for it. I wish I'd have to wait till the summer because I feel like Microsoft could use a few more games in the first half of 2021, but it's all right. It is what it is. We'll wait. We'll play the game. It'll be great. The next thing, since we're on the subject of Microsoft going hard on these JRPGs, Yakuza, the whole series is coming to Game Pass next year, January.
Yeah, Yakuza 3 to Yakuza 6.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5,
6. Yeah.
Master trilogy, and then
also
6.
Among Us is coming to Game Pass. That was a weird one.
Yeah, on PC. Yeah.
I think it could be making its way to console quite soon.
It'd be cool if the game come to console. Certainly expand their player base by a ton, just because it's so popular and streaming. It's really
if they get like Among Us timed exclusivity, that's gonna bring a lot of players in.
And party chat, getting people together on Xbox.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It'd be really awesome.
Yeah. With Yakuza, I'm excited. I really want to go back and beat the original 2 that they put out there for the remakes. I played some of 0. Now that I've played Yakuza Like a Dragon, I really want to go back and just like clear these games. It's such a fun game. The worlds are fun, and they do a lot of wacky stuff. And I would have never known without playing Like a Dragon, and I really want to go back and play these. So good thing we're gonna get those on Game Pass.
Yeah, like a Dragon is. I expect Like a Dragon to come to Game Pass at some point in the future, just based on them doing this. But they're going hard at the Japanese market. And Like a Dragon, as I've said many times in our podcast, is my game of the year. I thought it was amazing. I put 65 plus hours into it. It's a phenomenal story, phenomenal characters. So I'm really pumped to go back into the Yakuza world. I know it's a different type of game. It's not a turn-based JRPG. It's not it's not the same cast, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm pretty pumped to revisit the Kiryu and see where he's going on, what his stories are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's something going on with Sega and Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Definitely something is going on. Aaron Greenberg tweeting pictures of hedgehogs for like last week. Something is going on. Something's fishy here.
I'm all for it.
mean, if we see like Persona 4 come to Game Pass, then I'm going to be convinced Microsoft is acquiring Sega.
I don't know about that. I played Persona 4 over the summer. That's an amazing game. I'm playing Persona 5 Royal right now for the first time. So I consider that I'm really glad that Microsoft is taking an interest in the Japanese market and really pushing JRPGs, because it's something that we lacked last gen. 360 had a bunch of JRPGs that were really acclaimed, but it's not something that we had in the Xbox One era.
Yeah, Persona's one of those games like I really want to be able to get into, and I keep trying, and then I play like 10 hours of it, and then I just stop. I don't know why. it just like I think there's too much of the school stuff, like
that's
dragging me down. I don't know.
Building bonds with your teammates. I think that's why I like Yakuza.
Elder Scroll, Skyrim. Elder Scrolls Skyrim is also coming.
Yeah.
Game Pass, 15 December. That's another big game coming soon. It's an old game, but classic.
That was inevitable with the Bethesda
definitely.
acquisition, and then
Eventually all the Bethesda games are going to come in. Yeah, that's just going to increase the value
can't
of
wait.
Game Pass.
Lots of good games from the past.
Definitely.
So, unless I'm
Speaking
forgetting,
of, sorry, just going a bit off topic here. Aaron Greenberg, I'm not sure how true this is. Someone tweeted this. Aaron Greenberg apparently said that Perfect Dark is going to be third-person action-adventure game.
sweet, yeah.
He didn't tweet it. Someone's tweeting it saying that Aaron Greenberg said that. So I'm not sure how true or legitimate this is, but yeah.
I would prefer.
So I expected it to be that. It's like a soft reboot, I guess. So and it makes sense since Microsoft do want to compete a bit with Sony, and Sony's just full with these, third-person slow walk and talk games. So
That sucker's going to be third person for sure.
Yeah,
it almost has to be. They release a first person like shooter style Perfect Dark, and people are gonna.
Yeah, it also doesn't the art style which it just showed off. It doesn't fit in with that aesthetic, of being first person.
So another big game coming to Game Pass from Microsoft. Flight Simulator, not Fight Simulator. You're not fighting
Yeah.
You're flying across the globe. It's coming in the summer as well.
It's coming 2021, I think, right? Jeff Tooley said.
Series X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got gameplay as well. We got a gameplay running on Series X, so that's amazing.
Yeah, it looked good. Looked good on Series X. Captured real time.
That's one game I'm gonna look forward to 2021.
I don't know how big.
Since we've barely been able to travel this pandemic, and now, going around and flight sim, pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how much time I'll spend in that. It might be cool just to take a few flights. But yeah, cool. I think the only thing left we have is Mass Effect. We touched on it earlier at the beginning of the show. That's what Game Awards ended with before announcing The Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year in every other category. Mass Effect, they basically just reiterated what they did in an article when they announced the Legendary Edition back in November. They let us know that they're making another Mass Effect game. It's not a sequel to Andromeda. It's continuing the main story from everything that cinematic trailer told me was that it's going to pick up.
Well, that's relief.
That's why they picked up the N7 off of the ground, right?
Yeah.
Kind of picking up where they left off is kind of how I took that.
Yeah.
That's relief. Andromeda, not the best. It was a good game, but it wasn't Mass Effect. It was like a better version of Anthem.
Yeah.
Whoa.
that I didn't like it that much, right? And you guys disappointed me when you included that in your top 10 list for.
It's much better
games this gen.
Much better than Anthem.
But it wasn't any of us in this
slightly
room.
Improved.
In this, who did that? I think that was Garrett. Oh, it was Kevin.
So you had that in was it top 10 games of all time? Is that
no?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
I was.
Well, that's fair enough.
Definitely not. But yeah, everyone has their own opinion. Gaming is for everyone, so.
All right.
PR speak here.
Yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, I thought it was.
Wait. Before you guys say anything, Mav, Outer Worlds or Mass Effect Andromeda?
Oh man. Well, there's kind of two different kind of games at the same time, right?
Both are RPGs, both are set in space. If you had to include one of these games in your top 10 games of the last generation,
I wouldn't put either, but I would say Outer Worlds.
Yes, okay.
I had my like faults with both of those games. I'm not saying either of them is a bad game. Both of those games to me are good games, right? Mass Effect Andromeda to me just doesn't live up to what Mass Effect is. if that makes sense. So that's why I was disappointed with that. Not because of the faces, like a lot of people freaked out about when the game came out.
Yeah,
That was overblown, okay? But it was more about everything else, and Mass Effect was a game more about everything else and less about the action, right? Whereas Andromeda kind of, there was less of everything else. There wasn't enough of that stuff, right? And what was there wasn't as good. So that kind of bothered me. Now, Outer Worlds was like a B movie Mass Effect, or like or Fallout. You know what I mean? It had all the heart, it had all of that stuff, but just at
a low budget Fallout,
a lower budget style, and it kind of had that feel when you play it also, right? So if they could take the good out of Outer Worlds, the great out of Outer Worlds, and pair it with the big budget, which is, I think we're going to get that, right?
Yeah,
with Avowed and stuff like that, right? So
Obsidian right now.
That would be amazing. As far as Andromeda, I think it's not anywhere near as bad as people make it out to be, but it is the worst in the series, right?
I agree with
in
that.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So as far as this announcement at the end, BioWare still exists. And that's all that's what I take. Okay, so it still exists.
They're here to stay.
Mass Effect. We're making another one. Cool, man. I never for once believed they weren't going to make another Mass Effect, or that BioWare was going to disappear. The name BioWare is too valuable in of itself. When everybody left Infinity Ward, Activision didn't close Infinity Ward. They just like, hey, we still got Infinity Ward. They're not the same guys, but we still got them, right? So BioWare is just the name, and also a lot of talented developers and stuff that work there technically, right? They're not going anywhere. So you announce a new Mass Effect game. That's cool. What is it? What is the game? What's the name of the game? Like Mass Effect will continue? Is that the name of the game? No, it's not the name of the game. Like, tell us what the name of the game is.
I think it might just be called Mass Effect because they're doing like a soft reboot. Just call it Mass Effect.
Yeah. I think it needs to be called Mass Effect 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they came out and actually said Mass Effect 4, people would have flipped their shit. Excuse my language, but that would make people go crazy.
Mass Effect 4 instead of Mass Effect will continue.
Yeah, we'll continue. That's just like,
I thought it was Starfield at first. Until I saw the M7 thing.
I was like, Starfield.
I thought it was Starfield.
Nope, it's not. He picked up M7.
Exactly, yeah.
Will continue is something you put at the end of a movie, or at the end of a season of something, like this will continue. And like, yeah, cool. It's not over. It's gonna keep going. That's how Andromeda should have ended. Not like an announcement at the end. I don't know. I liked what I saw. I liked the trailer they put together, but to me, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a fancy visual trailer they put together that symbolizes Mass Effect, as opposed to actually being a real game right now.
I agree. I don't think they have a game. I don't think they have anything besides the announcement that they gave us in November, and this is just a visual representation for people that didn't read that. They were like, this is going to get more views if we have a trailer to announce a new Mass Effect as opposed to a 100%. Article.
Now, it may work and generate that hype and love again for Mass Effect and excitement for Mass Effect, which a lot of people have lost, and that's what they're going. That's why they're doing this. They're trying to regain that. Hey, Mass Effect is a good thing. It's a positive thing. They're trying to get that, excitement back, and I think it may work for that. It being at the end of the Game Awards, and we were freaking out. What is this game? Is it Starfield? Oh my God, it's Mass Effect! We were freaking out, and then at the end, it just said "will continue" and didn't show the name of a game or anything. Then that's when I was like, oh, that's what this was. You know what I mean? But
if they'd given a release window, that would have freaked people out. The release window. 2022. People would have.
They could have said 2026. I wouldn't care. But if they said Mass Effect 4 2026, Dude, that's 4 years of freaking or 6. What year is it? It's 6 years of freaking hype, right? I mean, holy crap, that would be amazing. You know, I don't care.
I know, right? Yeah.
How many games were announced at the beginning of like 2013, at the beginning of this past generation, that we waited for like 6 years, that just came out, that were freaking amazing? You could go down a huge list. It's okay to announce things super early as long as you actually come out with them. If you cancel them or they just disappear off the face of the earth, I don't like that. But if you actually know you're going to stick to your guns, no matter how long it takes, put your investment, you really believe in this, and you're coming out with it 6 years down the road, whatever, do it. Like, let us talk about it for a long time. Let us get excited.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, don't pull a scale bound.
I really think BioWare were at their best when they were under Microsoft.
Yeah, well, EA kind of sucks the soul out of people, you know. It's
exactly. I mean, they had Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 under EA. Those were pretty decent games, but then Mass Effect 2 was already in development while they were under Microsoft, and Mass Effect 2 was arguably
had the crappy ending. So
because of EA. So
and that's a creative like issue at the same time. So that something like that doesn't even bother me as much as like, hey, they had a vision and some people didn't like it, as opposed to like
the journey that was still fun. It's just
right, exactly. Mass Effect 3 was a freaking amazing game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just because you didn't like,
I think Microsoft missed out. If they had acquired, BioWare, it would have been like the Xbox One generation would have been completely different.
Well, I'll tell you, if we had the group at Xbox that's there now, back when all this happened, BioWare would be owned by Xbox. You know, a Bungie would still be part of Xbox.
Definitely.
Like
Bungie, BioWare. I don't think Phil Spencer would not have let go of these studios. Definitely.
They wouldn't
just buy everyone. It's fine.
Exactly. They would have just buy
every company.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have wanted to leave.
And then BioWare, like if they want to acquire BioWare now, they would cost about what, like 1 billion, 2 billion at least. And then if they acquired them back then, 500 million at the max.
I don't know.
They only had
how did they bought them after Anthem, you know? And Mass Effect Andromeda.
But I think those are EA. I think those games are also problems created probably by EA. Like, do you think BioWare went into, hey, we want to make this game like Anthem,
a live service game?
I don't think that's their decision. I think that's something that's forced upon them, and I think that's a lot of people are worried about Dragon Age getting pushed to that.
It's just another cash technique by EA from EA.
Well, they might. EA could potentially lose the ability to have Ultimate Team, right? Because of legal things going on in countries and stuff like that. And if you take away Ultimate Team and a lot of the microtransactions away from EA, that's a huge amount of profit for that company. What happens? What happens then?
That's when someone can go acquire EA then.
Well, I think they're going to try and figure out ways to get more different styles of this in different games. So that way, if something does happen with Ultimate Team, then they're still secure. Right, as a company trying to survive, that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been peeling back layers with their MTX recently, like the whole Battlefront 2. Like, we have less loot boxes than we did back. Sure, the Ultimate Team is still there, but
because nobody's raising hell about it, like they did with Star Wars, right? You put an Ultimate Team style thing in Star Wars, people are going to freak out. But when it's in a sports game, people don't really care. And if you go and actually check out the prices of Ultimate Team, that people are just okay with paying. And I'm guilty of this. I did it, and that's why I can speak on it, because I had to wrestle myself away from that, and it was hard. I was kind of addicted into that whole thing of I need that card, right?
One more pack. I get that player.
It's 100% pay to win.
Mm-hmm.
The grinding is near impossible as a person actually has a job or a life to be able to acquire the best things in it. And there's no reason to be able to have stuff that hits every weekend that costs $100 that it gives you pretty much the only chance of getting these things, right? So they cost more than the game.
Yeah.
And you only get digital cards that don't mean anything a year later.
Exactly.
Right? They completely lose their value, if they even had any value at all. $100.
This is exactly why I think someone needs to acquire EA. I don't care who it is, but someone needs to acquire them so they stop
Well,
looking
they're not
at
the
these
only
sport
ones
franchises
now, but-
yearly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2K is doing the
Because-
same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they make an NBA game every 3 years, that would be really great. Because people can grind those 3 years, and
I mean, Square.
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna play this game for 9 months and then I'm gonna start all over again.
I mean, look at what happened with Square Enix trying to make Crystal Dynamics make Avengers into a game as a service.
Exactly. Avengers was a massive flop.
Yeah,
a massive flop. The
Well,
game was
but-
good, but it was a flop.
The best thing for us is actually if those style of games keep flopping, actually. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because they're going to
I
get focused more onto the other style.
Yeah. Yeah. I was also gonna say, just slipped my mind. Sorry.
You've been up for 24 hours, man.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Yeah. More now.
I expect you to go beat
It's-
Cyberpunk for our review next week. So
Yeah.
we'll be
Yeah. I need to
that.
do that.
I think that's a good place to wrap up our Game Awards discussion, guys. We all just want a 3.5 hour long show. That's a good.
I'm just gonna say your guys' predictions, they were way off. They were way off.
We got a couple.
Your
We got
predictions,
a couple.
What do you want?
a couple.
No, I got so many of those
Your
awards.
guys' predictions last week. It was way off.
Awards right. I got so many right. I guess there was a Smash character coming. I didn't get the right one, but I got a Smash.
He could have
You
guessed
said Doom
Sephiroth.
guy.
I would have, honestly, if you would have asked me, I would have said Sephiroth is already in Smash.
I
To be
thought
honest
it was
with
gonna
you.
be Master Chief because there's talk about Master Chief coming to
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Like when Steve came.
Yeah,
I think
just don't
I think
that's
Ori
good.
needs to be in there.
Oh yeah, Ori needs to be there. Ori would be an amazing addition.
I'm pumped for
Right, I
Sephiroth.
think.
I'm pumped for the new Xbox games. We'll end it there. Just gonna say thanks again to Mav for letting Aman come on your stream. Thanks for joining us for the post show and the podcast for this week. You want to give a shout out? Where can people find you?
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks y'all for having me again. And sorry, I was running late, popping back in here. This is a third stream in a row now because we actually did a little pre-show thing earlier that I was kind of all over the place with. Then we did the big stream over with Next Level Gaming over there, and then now we're over here. So he got to shout out you guys a couple times tonight.
Sweet.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So as far as me, you guys can check me out at Twitter, Fun Speculation. On YouTube, Fun Speculation. On YouTube, I have the Xbox Ultimate Podcast, which hits Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, so you can check that out tomorrow night. And yeah, appreciate it again, guys. You got good stuff going here.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks
coming.
for coming.
Thank you
Aman,
for coming.
where
Thank
can
you
everyone
for
find you?
joining us. You
Where can
can
they find
find me at Aman _ M05. That's my gamer tag. You can add me on Xbox there. That's also my Twitter username. That's also my Twitch username. So I started streaming on Twitch, but I don't know if I'm going to stream Cyberpunk because it's just going to ruin the experience now. Because I can't do most of the stuff that
Yeah, I chose
you know,
not to.
you wanna do
It ruins too much
Cyberpunk,
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you,
So yeah, you can, that's where you can find me.
And you guys can find me at Chronicle Tom on Twitter.
And I'm the Muffin Mon on Twitter and Xbox. That's a 1 instead of an I. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next week for talk about Halo Infinite and our Cyberpunk 2077 reviews. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.